Well, yeah, we made it to another Viva Fresh. Although, this time it feels a little different. I'm scratching my head. I just can't put my finger on it. Can you think what it might be that's different this
Well, look
time?
around. I
Well,
mean, what do you
I'm
want?
looking around and I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
You
I
need
don't know.
my glasses or no? I mean, we're not in the lobby between like
The
the
toilet.
men's room
Remember,
and
we,
the.
we were so close to the
Well, I mean, I'm
toilet
trying to
last.
keep it clean. Women's room, men's room, ladies' room, men's room. Yeah, that's where we're at last year. So, no, we're smack dab in the middle of the expo floor. So, awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. And Viva Fresh is close to you and I. It's in a special place in our heart.
Sure.
Being from the very front of this thing, they've been so good to us. The show, the Fresh Cred, it's been a great partnership, and again, it's been good to be part of it. We're beyond thrilled to be here, be able
Yep.
to attend, be able to do this from the show floor, and be part of it. So it's been great.
Yeah, and for those of you listening, you're going to hear from sponsors, guests, individuals today, which without we couldn't be here. We definitely want to thank them. Colimex, B&M Avocados, IFCO, Full Tilt Marketing, Santis Produce, Sunfed, Splendid, and Produce Careers.
Well, thank you, Viva Fresh. Thank you, all of our sponsors. And thank you, Ed.
And thank you, Craig.
And thank you, Ed, for being such a good friend.
You're so thankful.
And enjoy the show.
We're back.
We're back live and in person here again at Viva Fresh, having a blast, having a good time. We've got a couple of young ladies that are joining us here up at the Fresh Cred stage here in what we call the Fishbowl.
Oh,
Yeah,
we have a fishbowl at Texas A&M.
I know you tell us. The Fishbowl. What does that even mean at Texas A&M?
Well, it's our fun little agri-life area that Codie and I like to hang out in sometimes. So.
Nice. The fish bowls. See, now I thought fish at A&M was a freshman,
That's true.
That's true too. Mm-hmm.
and
It's true.
and I'm not going to get off into all that. So, but anyway, ladies, they hail from the great University of Texas A&M, Giggle Aggies,
Whoop.
and we have Codie Wright's been with us before. She joined us on the pod. Gosh, it's been a year.
It was a little over a year ago. Yeah,
A little over a year ago, and we talked about her book. We'll talk a little about
Has
that.
it been life changing?
absolutely. Oh my gosh.
I figured you could say that.
But we've also, Kenadee Stewart here is with us today. And how you doing, Kenadee?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing great. So Kenadee is a senior at Texas A&M, ag economics, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. What else about you, Kenadee?
I'm part of the TIPA Edge program.
Yes, sir, I am. Very glad to be here. I'm a senior ag economics major with a food marketing systems focus, and I'll be starting my Master of Ag business this fall.
Wow,
So
impressive.
So before we get to my first question, I guess I'll start with another question. What is TIPA Edge?
So it's a program for college students to be able to come to this show and network and connect with businesses, and as well as the other college students. We got to sit in on a breakfast this morning and meet some of the other faculty as well as some mentors, and then network with one another before we hit the show floor.
All right. So
You've been busy.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So for your degree plan that you're working out, you have to go get a master's, everything. Do you have a vision as to what that's all going to transpire, or is that why you're at something like this to try and figure out, hey, maybe I want to be in this business or something else?
Absolutely. I fast tracked through undergrad, so I'm finishing in 3 years, which kind of furthered my desire to stay for a master's degree, and it just kind of worked out that way. But definitely, events like this, I think, are so vital to people my age, younger, older, just to be able to explore your options and, kind of dip your toes in the water of different industries. And with the food marketing systems focus, this type of thing perfectly fits into our degree and coursework.
Now, Kenadee is a pretty humble gal, you guys will find, but she's also extremely ambitious, and she's probably not going to brag on herself like I
I was
can.
connecting those dots already. I was like,
Yes,
wow.
she's involved in an Aggie muster and heavily involved on Texas A&M's campus, and so hopefully she'll get to share more about that experience today. But from what you will find is she's very ambitious and a driven gal.
Oh, thanks, Cody.
Yeah, of course.
It's awesome.
So Codie, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Codie, with one of her professors, wrote a book called Launchers back in 2019. We did, the first podcast was around now, but this is really about kids coming out of college, like Kenadee, starting their career, right, and really focusing on all the challenges that come from that. But Codie, just a little bit about the book. Some of the people may not know you, but a little bit about you.
Of course. So I did my undergrad and master's at Texas A&M. And upon graduating, I decided to stay at Texas A&M and help build a sales program. I had the chance to write that book that you were talking about. It's called Launchers with Dr. Carrie Litzenberg. And we noticed that there were a lot of students who were just taking a job right after graduation and not really being strategic with what industry and what role that they took. And so we wrote the book to help students and people who are looking to relaunch their career figure out what in the world are they supposed to be doing on this earth, right? Because we all have skills and we have passions, and the desire is to align the two of those. And in a industry like the produce industry, as you guys know, there's so many incredible roles that students and full-time people can take and transition into. And so that book in particular just really helps you launch your career in a strategic way.
So Kenadee, assume you've read the book.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was hoping when I asked that, if you haven't, just say yes. That'd be
Just
good.
blink and
Yeah,
say
blink.
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Cody does a great job too of implementing the book and a lot of the tangible aspects of it in class. So I've also been blessed to experience that as well.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's a great opportunity.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So from the book, and I've had a chance to read it, and one of the things is, as a parent, right, and son just finishing college, I see the other parents, I see myself, right? You want to plan out their career. It's for crying out loud, and it's like, hey, you got a degree, go get this, and it's just so hard to let them go. So for you, what is a kind of a big challenge that you face? What's something that you struggled with, I guess, as a college student and somebody about to launch a career?
Sure. So I think something very relevant for, this immediate generation is I started college in the fall of 2020. So in the midst of a pandemic was
Rough.
pretty interesting. And so, I kind of felt like as a sophomore, I was reliving my freshman year, trying to catch up on opportunities and experiences that weren't even an option my first year at Texas A&M. And so that's something that I always revert back to, is I've kind of felt like I've, in a way, played catch up throughout my college career. And I feel like a lot of kids that are my age and, the year below and the year above me can relate to that, because we did, go through college in the midst of the pandemic. But what I will say is that I think it's also made me a lot more of an adaptable person. And as someone with a very strict type A personality, that's been a huge opportunity for growth, to figure out, it's okay to be flexible, and it's okay to realize, your intended goal or plan, you don't have to give up on it. You can just maybe shift the focus or, change the path to get there. And you can still absolutely achieve it. It just might look a little differently getting through that journey than you intended.
Yeah.
And something I'll say with that as well is these students who have gone through the pandemic in school, they're very resilient. This generation of students are so coachable. They want to learn. They're passionate about being in the classroom. They're excited to interact with the professors and the lecturers and the guests who come into the classroom. And if any of you are listening, want to be a guest in a class at Texas A&M University, you know who to contact. Yeah.
If we can find anybody that likes to talk, we could maybe.
I don't know. Do you know
work that
anybody
out.
in the talking business?
Maybe a tandem group.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There we
We could
go.
set up a panel.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's the best days when we walk into class and have a guest speaker.
So, well, I mean, so for us being as far down in the career path, right, and the world's changing.
Absolutely.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell what your next birthday is.
Tell them.
You
I'm proud of it.
You're proud of it?
Yeah.
I guess you guys.
50 years old.
We
next
celebrated.
Oh my gosh, when's your birthday?
April 25th.
Okay, mine's coming up
We was
soon.
going to say we celebrated your birthday. That's
Yeah.
why I thought we were close to your birthday.
Next Saturday.
No, I believe you turned.
The big 3-0.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yes.
So I wasn't going to say it out loud.
I'll say it.
Yeah, no.
It's like 30. It's like a whole nother decade.
Well, he's proud of the 50s. Let me tell you what.
50's like a whole other life.
I'm on the latter part of the 50s, and I ain't looking that forward to 60. It's not like I'm like, woo, 60's coming.
Yeah.
Like, I can slow down. But
Absolutely. I'm like, in my next 30 years, let's see what happens.
There you
Oh,
go.
man.
There's a song about that, I think.
Yeah, there sure is. Absolutely.
Can you hum a few bars?
Oh, you don't want me to do that. I don't want us to lose listeners right now.
Yeah, there's only two people who want to hear me sing, and that's my mom and Jesus, and that's it.
Amen. Amen.
I doubt that. I'm sure you're quite the voice. But what I was going to ask is, the generations are different. Okay, it's a different generation, and for both of you guys, you're working, you're mentoring these young people. But what's important in a career? In your opinion, do you think? And nothing is ubiquitous, right? Nothing is across everybody, right? But there's our themes, and there certainly I can tell you with unquestionable. When I was growing up, I was a kid that born in the '60s, but really grew up in the '80s. Money drove everything, and it didn't matter if you've ever seen Wall Street the movie or whatever. It didn't matter how you got it, right? It was what drove
the end result.
It was the end result. That
Yeah.
was what you fought. Which I will say that this generation feels like it's not all about that for them, which I think is actually a good thing, but it's harder to work with. I'll let you answer the question. Yeah.
I would agree with that. I feel like a lot of my peers and classmates, when we go to things like this or career fairs, benefits are a huge part of it. Flexibility in your work schedule. I think largely due to coming out of a pandemic and seeing the opportunities presented that, maybe you don't have to sit at a desk from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 every single day. I think that's something that's really that we're looking for, and are excited about the opportunities to not be stuck to that desk, and what can you do outside of that, and networking and whatnot. I know for me that's a really big thing. I don't want to be doing the same thing every single day, and the produce industry definitely appeals to that. Everyone will tell you, you wake up and you could have a plan for your day, and by 9:30 in the morning, it's
blown up
out the window, and you're doing something else. And I think the excitement and the growth that comes from that, and Codie touched on the resiliency. I think that kind of complements, what young professionals and college students are looking for, just that flexibility and excitement and growth in an environment that isn't your stereotypical office job in a cube and where you're sitting on the computer all day, every day.
And I would also say when companies train and invest and pour into their employees, give them that ongoing training and professional development opportunities. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I would totally agree with that. And the opportunity to grow on that, to be in an internship and then maybe return to that company for a second internship or a full-time opportunity, and kind of have an investment in that company that they also have an investment in you. That loyalty builds, and that's really desirable, I think, as well.
Definitely the personal aspect. I mean, we just had Nathan Stornetta, one of the principals from Produce Careers, who's one of our sponsors, and we were talking. I mean, it sounds corny, but it really is all about. I mean, I look out as people walk by, folks that I know I met 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15, 20. I mean, it starts to add up. But
did you just make a produce joke that it's corny?
Yeah.
I guess I did.
He really wasn't smart enough to figure out he did a pun. So thanks for helping him out.
Is that what it's called? It's called a pun?
Yeah.
Dad jokes all day long.
Okay, I'll be here all week.
So
the Edge program, if we can get back to that, I mean, I think you're talking about exposing students to what's out there and what's possible. Obviously, Codie, I think we talked about it before, actually. equipping students and the idea of actually being able to switch gears as well, like the courage to actually, okay, go into something and not be paralyzed by the indecision, and actually have the courage to make a change or know that they can make a change later on, right?
Certainly.
Yeah.
I was just having a conversation with someone earlier about how they're in the produce industry, going to finish up their master's in supply chain and then get back into the produce industry after they complete that. So it's definitely a lot of wonderful opportunities.
So that's a super macro look, whereas if you round out your talents all the way around, I mean, the type of super employee or super business owner or super entrepreneur, that's another level of, right? Some folks do it within companies and cross-train, across different disciplines or different departments, but on a larger scale like that, I mean, it's pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. So this business, as probably other industries, I mean, this is the business I've been in for 30 years, business I love. Young people, getting people into this business. You talked about the things that sound great and interesting to you, but it is a high stress business. It is, I tell people, my whole career, my wife and kids, and it's like the product never sleeps. And it's always dying, right?
You don't sell it, you smell it.
You don't sell it, you smell it. I mean, once you cut it off the plant, it's no longer feeding. It's on its decline process, and it's a race against time. And so it literally is 24/7 almost. And so that does, how do we appeal to the young people? I mean, I understand some of the things young people are looking for these days, but I'm just not sure how this business and some of those aspects marries up. For me personally, I think the Work From Anywhere program, there is some, that is one thing this can be done. As long as you're willing to pick up the phone, that nobody really cares where you're standing, right? As long as you're picking up the phone and can figure out the problem
and taking care of their problems.
Them taken care of, right? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, any insight as to how we might, as an industry, attract more young, talented people that are looking for this kind of stuff?
Sure. I think a huge thing, it just goes back to, growing up, my parents and grandparents always said, choose an industry that's never going away, despite, the economy pitfalls, which the
recession proof.
Absolutely. Yeah. People always need to eat, and they need to eat good. And the other thing they always said was, make money while you're sleeping. In this industry, you're going to make money while you're sleeping because somebody else isn't sleeping and is making things happen. So
I'm writing these down. So
okay, go for it.
Make money while you're sleeping.
They're going to be on his,
yes.
They're going to be on his email signature
my
this
signature
week.
Maybe I may have to.
He's one of those guys.
I love it. I love it. But I think too, just being exposed to these opportunities. If there's any young professional college students listening, never ignore the mass emails that come in your inbox for opportunities like this. I didn't fully know what to expect, but, any chance to network and connect, I think if you don't pigeonhole yourself to, what you think you're wanting to do and keep an open mind. I know the first trade show like this, I went to IFPA in Orlando in October, and just the vast array of jobs and functional areas that were represented blew my mind. And I had truly no idea until having a glimpse through that trade show to see that, you don't have to be someone that wants to be a farmer necessarily. There's data analytics involved. There's processing, packaging, supply chain, sales, marketing, you name it. You can find a career in this industry. And ultimately, who doesn't want to know that what they're doing at the end of the day is bettering someone and helping people? I think that's another big thing for our generation is we care more than maybe our parents or grandparents did about where our food comes from and what it is that you're putting in your bodies. And so why not be involved in something that is for the greater good and helping others and feeding the world?
Yeah.
All right, damn, I think we've got a marketing somebody that just
well, it's
wrote
recorded.
Our marketing.
I know.
We recorded it, so I was thinking the same thing.
Perfect.
I don't know if there's anything you can add to that, Codie. That was pretty, I mean, that was spot on. But
I would agree.
Any other thoughts?
That's the elevator speech for the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
That elevator. But it was spot on.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
and that's clear. And I think that part that you said at the very end, Oh, I actually resonated with that. Making money while you sleep. That I wrote that down because that resonates with my generation. But
Yes.
She's got it copyrighted, so you're gonna have to pay her.
Kenadee Stewart.
I'll write up the licensing agreement and send it your way.
But yeah, no, the part and that is the thing that so early on when I got into business, I was needing a job, and so I didn't really think about all the great things. I just like, hey, thankfully I got a job.
You just thought, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
I need money.
I want to eat.
And I want to eat.
There was not a real process, and anyway, but that part that you talked about, which has come to realization, partly why Ed and I do this show, and it's such a great thing to be part of a business where you're right. We're not killing people in this business, right?
We're in the energy business, we said earlier.
We're in the
clean burning energy.
the best energy of all, right? I mean, we're not powering cars, we're powering humans with the most efficient energy possible. So that part, I think, is something that I think will resonate, like you said, with this generation, with a lot of people. So
Absolutely. A lot of opportunities.
So Codie, how many students did you bring with you?
We have 9 students from Texas A&M University, and their majors vary from plant pathology to soil and crop science to ag economics to food safety. And we met quite a few other students this morning from Tarleton, Texas Tech, other locations who have a variety of degrees too. And so it's been a really great morning.
And you said you'd been to the IFBA. So for most of the students, is this their first produce endeavor?
Yes. And they are loving it.
Are they?
Yes.
I'd be curious some of the feedback, what you get back from them and what they like. So I'd be curious to know what that is because, I can't tell you. I mean, I did 14 years in the banana business and I was 9 years where he's at and I'm on now the dry veg side. So 30 some odd years I've been doing this. Love the people, love the business, so close to so many people, throughout it. And, if you can adjust to the stress and the fact that you're always on, God, I can't think of a better place for kids, for anybody to put together a career and go at it.
Yep.
So, what else, sir?
What else you got?
Any
Hey,
hot topic?
how many of Codie's books have you bought? Have you sent one of her books to a friend? I have.
So I was going to say, do you want to do a little self-promotion?
No, I'm just patting myself on the back.
I know you
was
are.
telling her before we came up that a friend of mine, we were together on a trip, and he said that he made a comment that I thought was appropriate to send him this book so that he could share it with somebody that he loves. I don't want to get too specific.
I'm honored. Anytime someone tells me that they've purchased one of my books and they're sending it off to somebody else, it's like a hug.
Well, mine was special because I was sitting on the side of a mountain and I Amazoned it, and it was there before we got home.
Such the story. Why were you sitting on the side of a mountain? Were you meditating?
Yeah, that's.
He was eating some produce too.
He was eating produce and meditating.
I was probably jet boiling some coffee.
Oh my gosh!
So, by the way, the hotel's still intact. The joke is I've been jet boiling coffee in my room.
Oh, I see.
Because I don't want to go down to have to walk to get to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Do you know what a jet boiler is?
I don't think
like
I know nobody does.
A kettle?
Okay, I'm sorry. I took it for granted. A jet boiler, it's a device used for like camping. It's like a upgraded camping stove.
Okay.
So you had like percolator coffee this morning.
No, it was like
he built a campfire in his room.
It's like a traveling French press, but I used the camp stove to heat the water, and it's a whole production.
Is the Gaylord listening to this one right now?
I've checked out. I'm checked out already. He's still
Nobody's
staying here, but yeah, I'm checked out. So, and we're all here.
I'm not starting any campfires in my room.
The coffee was good.
Straight up, huh?
The coffee was really good.
He didn't even invite me for a cup. He told me about this wonderful coffee, but he didn't invite me for a single
Didn't
cup.
invite you and didn't invite you for s'mores on the stove or anything either.
That's taking it too far. Now you're just being silly.
Well, like I say, it is an outstanding book. It is good.
Thank you.
I did put, and I believe I sent Miller the book, so I did put Codie in touch with a young college student, and did share the book with him.
I need mine autographed, so I'm gonna have to. Maybe we will make a trip up to College Station. So
anytime you want to come to Texas A&M, I would be glad to host you.
And I gotta get over to Catalina Hatters.
Oh yes, gotta get you a hat from over there. Absolutely. So I've had the opportunity to like take that book and make it into an actual camp or a conference for high school students. So that the first one will be this summer.
Before we get out here, please take us a little bit. Let's spend a few minutes unpacking that, because that's just an extension of the book, right?
Yeah, certainly. So it's called Inspire Academy, Texas. It's a college and career readiness camp, helps students figure out what in the world they're going to do after they graduate from high school. It could be college, it could be trade, a trade association or a trade school. And so we work with them on resume building, LinkedIn building, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, self-management. And we have a wide variety of industry representatives who will be coming and mentoring those students to help just them figure out what that next step might be.
That is, man, that's another fantastic. So is this outside of A&M?
Yes, this is not affiliated with Texas A&M University. This is an independent company that I own and operate.
So where will the camp be?
Yes.
Where will the camp be?
It'll be in College Station.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what's the name of that?
Inspire Academy, Texas.
Catchy name.
Hey, thank you.
Registered trademark of Ricky Bobby Inc.
Inspire Academy, Texas. No, that's a fabulous idea. And then are you hoping to start it there and maybe expand that across the state?
Yes, I plan to have one in Dallas next year, College Station, and San Antonio. Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right.
Yes, sir.
Maybe it'd be.
Is it too late for me to go?
No, I think you should definitely come.
You can never stop learning.
Yeah, I'll cook or barbecue.
You can bring your campfire stove and make some coffee.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, that's a great opportunity.
There's no learning him, trust me. There's no learning. Yeah, so.
Or teaching me. Right. So, for those that aren't from East Texas.
I was going to say, if you're not if you're from East Texas, you understand to be learned.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, definitely plenty of show left. How much have you seen? Did you all come straight here, or did you actually get to see part of it?
We walked around the floor for about an hour and a half or so before.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's been good.
We hope you guys make great use of your time here. It sounds like you already have. Thank you for joining us. Definitely want to grab a picture before you guys leave.
We definitely get out. And I've got a kid. I thought he was out here, so there's a young man, and I was hoping to embarrass him, but I'm not going to get the opportunity to do that. Blake Howerton. So he's an Aggie grad, and he made the mistake of calling me and asking about helping him get in.
I met him right over there.
Yeah. And anyway, so he's in the produce business in it, and he's turned out to be a great asset.
But he didn't know that's what he wanted. Like he was an ag major, right?
No, he was an ag major.
Okay.
Economics.
He had the same career path plan that I had. When I didn't get a master's. I just got a degree, but it took me like somebody that gets a doctorate. So most people get a doctorate in the amount of time I spent in college. But my career path plan was, I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. It was just that. It was like I just got out. It's like I just know I want to go to work somewhere, and here we go. But I know that's a lot. That's a lot of kids are in that space, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you get out, you go and get the degree. It's like, hey, now I got this. What do I do with it? And anyway, this is a great place to land. And like you articulated earlier, you said there's so many different ways that you can come into this space. You don't have to be a squash peddler like me. You can do something more intelligent, right? And
you don't have to be an ag major.
Right.
Coming from the ag major,
Yeah.
you can be, but you certainly don't have to be. It takes everyone to make this happen.
Yep.
No, a lot of people. Ladies, it's been a pleasure. Like I said,
Honor.
we're gonna grab a photo after. Codie, you're gonna be like a regular. We're gonna just keep coming you back.
It's always so much fun. Anytime I ever have the chance to chat with you guys, so anytime you just,
We'll just
let
put it on the
me know. It was a pleasure being here with you
trip
guys.
together with his little hot rocket coffee. What's the thing? We're
Jet-
going to make a
jet
trip
fuel.
to we're going
Jet
to
boil. I'm sorry.
We're coming to College Station. We're going to jet boil some coffee up.
And we'll learn you.
And then we're going to do some learning.
Amen.
We're going to do some learning.
I love that.
All right, ladies.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right. Thank you very much.
Let's get out of here, baby.
All right.
And
Thank
we'll be
you.
back shortly.
Thanks and
guys.
Gig 'em.
Thank
Bye-bye.
y'all.
Gig 'em.